Hello, 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 everybody. It's your boy OMG WTF LOL FTW BRB here. I couldn't even say that without a straight face. It's your boy. We're back with more of the WWE versus TEW series, the weekly series where we take the weekly events and shows that the WWE runs, book them into the game, and see just how well WWE does against TEW, or if TEW will be the three-letter company that brings WWE to its knees once and for all. So far, so good, though, for TEW. They are winning. We have gotten the WWE down the Colt, but WWE has been picking up since we have gone the Colt, so maybe this was the best move for them in the long run. We're still booking our way up to Money in the Bank. It is the week of the Money in the Bank. We're booking Monday Night Raw. Today is the 16th, and it's a Friday, so that would mean Raw was... No, it's not a Friday, it's a Saturday, so Raw was the 11th. I almost said it was the 12th, which that would have been wrong anyway. Nonetheless, this is the 11th edition of Monday Night Raw. Like I said, we are in the week of Money in the Bank. I've been a little behind on here because, well, this has been quite a hectic week, if I do say so myself. A lot of new things going down in my life. Not in YouTube, just my life, but I don't want to get into it. So, like I said, been a little bit of hectic, but nothing to talk about. Sorry that's been taking a little while. I'm going to try to get these up. Boom, boom, boom. And then hopefully we'll have Money in the Bank up Monday is my best guess. So let's try it. Anyway, let's go ahead and run this show. Main event of the night is Finn Balor versus Bobby Roode versus Kevin Owens versus Braun Strowman. We start off... Okay, this is going to be an interesting angle because the opening angle had all four women from Monday Night Raw that are in the Money in the Bank ladder match and all four men who are in the Money in the Bank ladder match from Monday Night Raw, alongside Kurt Angle and Constable Corbin, who is now bald, I may add. And, well, I'm not able to feature that many people in an angle, so what I kind of did is I split them. I started with the men's, and then right after this, we'll jump into the women's segment. So I figured, I started with the men because I was pretty positive that this would do better than the women's segment. That way Monday Night Raw got off on a good start. But this is kind of the same segment, so I'm going to talk about them both in the same setting, besides, having to jump in back and forth. So Monday Night Raw opens. We've got, like I mentioned, all four men from the Money in the Bank ladder match that are representing Raw, that being Braun Strowman, Kevin Owens, Finn Balor, and Bobby Roode, the four men you see on the screen right now. All four women from Monday Night Raw that are representing Money in the Bank, or that are in the Money in the Bank, are on top of ladders as well. I don't know if I mentioned the men are. Everybody's on ladders right now. So you got Alexa Bliss, Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, and Natalya. And out comes Kurt Angle and Constable Corbin, or Baron Corbin. They start hyping up Money in the Bank and all that, and how everyone has a huge opportunity in front of them. It soon descends into chaos as all the women start putting over how they're going to win, and they go back and forth and argue until Kevin Owens is like, shut up, no one cares. We already know the men's match is more important than the women's match, pretty much. He didn't exactly say that, but he pretty much said that the men is more important than the women, which made me go, oh, because it's kind of like they're trying to push the women as like equal to men, and Kevin Owens straight up just like, no, they're not. I'm still better, even though he's a heel. So I guess that's what he's supposed to do. But it just surprised me that WWE even let him say that. Nonetheless, Kevin Owens and the other three men, Finn Balor, Roode, and Strowman, all put over how they're gonna win. Mostly Balor and Roode, until Braun Strowman interrupts them all and says that they're all gonna get these hands, pretty much. Just hyping up the Money in the Bank. Nothing too special. I don't believe it ended in a schmodge or anything. It was just pretty much hyping up the thing. They're all on ladders, like I said, but yeah, nothing special. It would have been cool if there was like maybe a little bit of schmodge in there, but with there being both men and women and of course ladders, I don't see that happening. One thing I did forget to do or mention is during the thing, it's the men and the women actually did interact with each other in some sort of way. At one point, I believe Alexa Bliss started it off. She brought up how she thought her mixed match tag team partner Braun Strowman was going to win Money in the Bank, and then they kind of did a little bit of a flirt, like they looked at each other, because I guess W likes to tease that there's some feelings between Braun Strowman and Alexa Bliss, which I'm not opposed to. I like it. I think we all do. That, of course, then leads to Sasha Banks saying how she thought Finn Balor was going to win. Finn Balor missed a perfect opportunity to tell Sasha, oh, thanks, too sweet me or something, But, whatever. It wasn't a bad opening angle. Could have been better. I think a Shimaj would have helped it a little bit. Maybe had this be the ending angle, but I guess maybe that's a little predictable here and there. Nonetheless, for the men, we got a 65 solid C, gaining heat for the Kurt Stephanie storyline. Braun Strowman looking good, advanced the men's Money in the Bank. Kurt improving in acting. Bobby Roode showing more charisma. And then we get, okay, so they really weren't all that far apart. So they're about even, which is honestly amazing to me considering they are both the same angle. So it's kind of cool to see that they're the same grade. Maybe not the same number, but the same grade. Anyway, so now we go to the women. Same thing, like I just explained. This gets a 59 solid C. Kurt looked good. Gained heat for the women's Money in the Bank feud. And the Stephanie feud just kind of stayed the same. No worker improvement still. Before we move on, though, I would like to check this out. Oh, this was just where I was. Buddy Murphy, I think I've done all this stuff. And like I said, this was just where I left off on the video when I needed to remember where I was because I needed to go to work at that moment. So I do think I edited Buddy Murphy and Jinder Mahal, I'm pretty sure. Nonetheless, 41 solid D as we get hype for the Fatal 4-Way, which will be between the 4 women, which I believe is next. Yep. It'll be between, of course, Sasha Banks, Bliss, Natalya, and Ember Moon. So you got that going down for that. Okay, I was going to say, did we press it? 49 D plus for the Fatal 4-Way match. God, all right, let me put this in the notepad. I always forget. Apparently, I guess Mickie James and Alexa Bliss aren't friends anymore or whatnot because I don't see her with her anymore. And she's always with her there. So I forget that she's there. 49 D plus for the Fatal 4-Way. Poor matchup here. Natalya, just as surprised as you guys were. Natalya goes over Sasha Banks, Ember Moon, and Alexa Bliss in 19 minutes 46 seconds after she beats Alexa Bliss with the sharpshooter. Sasha Banks have carried the match in terms of the in-ring performance. This was a good match, back and forth. All the women pretty much got their highlights. Alexa Bliss still playing off like her injury, being, the conniving heel that she is. I expected to see a little bit more between Sasha and Ember. And in fact, I thought this might have led to being a one-on-one match with, Alexa Bliss feigning her injury, Natalya legitimately be injured. So I thought maybe that, Alexa would have revealed, hey, I'm cleared for Money in the Bank. Good for me, right? But Natalya wasn't. She was legit injured or something. Maybe adding more heat onto the Ronda versus Nia feud. And then maybe adding Bayley or maybe Ruby Riott into this match instead. But nope, we got the Fatal 4-Way. Both Natalya and Alexa are fine. But I did expect to see a little bit more between Sasha and Ember. I thought this was their chance to show Sasha and Ember kind of taking each other on. Because I feel like that's something they want to build towards. But, yeah, back and forth action. But eventually, I don't remember how Ember and Sasha got taken out of the match. I don't know if they were brawling with each other. But it was just down to Natty and Bliss. And Natalya was able to lock in the sharpshooter. Alexa Bliss taps out. And Natalya gets a much-needed victory here tonight. Because, well, out of all I've been checking popularity on the superstars, every chance, every once in a while, seeing just how, if they're improving and all that. 9 times out of 10, they are improving in popularity. Natalya is not one of them. Natalya is one of the rare people right now that's actually losing popularity than anything. It's because she's mostly losing to, like, Nia Jax and people that are less popular than her. So she is helping Nia Jax out and, like, Ruby Riott and all the, Riott Squad members and whatnot. But WWE's not helping her out. So very surprised to see Natalya get the victory here tonight. We already know about Corey Graves and Coach. By the way, Coach is back this week. Don't know why he always jumps back and forth, but whatever. Sasha Banks, we already know she was the best. She had an in-ring performance of a 52. Ember Moon with a 41. Natalya with a 43. And former women's champion Alexa Bliss, the worst of the match, with a 38. Passed along the feud as well, so didn't gain heat or lose heat, but it still just is there. We then get some hype for Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. This was during the match. I don't know why I put this in the way, but whatever. I kind of debate doing this sometimes because it's not adding on any time to the segment. It's part of the same segment, so it really shouldn't have to add on like a minute because of it. So I'm probably going to stop doing that. In fact, I did stop doing it in this episode. So I guess part 1 of me booking didn't, but part 2 was like, that's stupid. We're done doing that. All right. If they hype it not during a match, it's cool. But if it's like during like the match, like it's just there's no point. 59 solid C rating here as we get hyped for the men's Money in the Bank ladder match, hyping up, of course, Kevin Owens, Bobby Roode, The Miz, Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, Rusev, Samoa Joe, and then Kofi Kingston being the most popular member, so I added him in there. 56 C- here as we get hyped for AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura for Money in the Bank alongside Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. 76 B- as Finn Balor is backstage getting ready for the Fatal 4-Way later on tonight when Kevin Owens comes in there and he has an offer for Finn Balor. He gives him a bowl of olives, kind of to represent, the olive branch, I guess, and starts proposing, look, there's me, there's you, we got Braun Strowman in there. What we really need to do today is work together and take Braun Strowman out. That way he doesn't make it to Money in the Bank, and we won't even have to worry about him, pretty much. Finn just kind of thinks it over. And Kevin even tells him, think it over, let me know. And he goes, enjoy the olives, pretty much. I love the olive thing. The olive thing was hilarious to me. Kevin Owens was great in these little segments. We'll see it numerous times here tonight, but Kevin Owens was honestly great. I'm enjoying Kevin Owens on Raw a lot more than I was on SmackDown. Gained heat for the men's Money in the Bank feud. 57 C- as we get hype for Roman Reigns versus Jinder Mahal, which, surprise, surprise, takes place tonight, even though they're going to be fighting each other at Money in the Bank. And then we also hype up that Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey will go face-to-face here tonight with Jonathan Coachman overseeing it, pretty much. 44 solid D for an extremely short tag team matchup here between Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre, who go over Breezango in 3 minutes, 57 seconds, after Dolph Ziggler hits Fandango with the zigzag. I think this was the Claymore zigzag combination, so I got to combine that in there. Tyler Breeze with an in-ring performance of a 43. Good on you, Tyler. Fandango with a 39. Drew Mac with a 53. Better than Dolph, so he was the best in this match. Ziggler with a 52. 1 point below Drew McIntyre. After the match, we get a 65 solid C. Fandango and Tyler Breeze are just selling during this angle, while Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre pretty much send a message, a warning to the Raw Tag Team Division, saying how last week was a fluke, and they proved it here tonight by easily defeating Fandango and Tyler Breeze, the team who eliminated them, and pretty much like I said, just putting the tag team division on check, saying that they're coming for them, and it doesn't matter who's tag team champions because pretty much they're next. There you go there. 57 C- as Charlie Caruso is backstage with Roman Reigns, asking about facing Jinder Mahal here tonight. Roman's it's an interesting way. Roman's kind of playing it off like, he has a feeling Jinder Mahal is up to something. He doesn't trust Jinder, yada, yada, yada. But pretty much Mahal is going to get his ass beat here tonight. So, generic Roman promo. You know how it goes. Lost heat to the feud, too. Thanks a lot, Roman. 60 C rating here. Solid 60 as we get hyped for Roman versus Jinder, which is next. 52 D+ as we get the Jinder Mahal. He comes out, he cuts his pre-match promo on Roman Reigns. One thing that was interesting here is we didn't get the whole Sunil Singh introducing himself, but he's cutting the pre-match promo on Reigns before he's interrupted by Roman Reigns. Roman's ready to fight, and then Jinder even laughs him off, and he's pretty much like, "You're not fighting me, but you will be taking on another great Indian legend," and he's teasing that it's going to be the great Khali. He starts by saying, "You'll be facing the great Sunil Singh." And Sunil's like, "What?" And there you go. We lead it. Instead of it being Roman and Jinder, we get Sunil Singh versus Roman Reigns. So there you have it. Sunil Singh, underwhelming, lost heat to the feud. Match itself gets a 54 C-. Extremely short matchup here. Roman Reigns goes over Sunil Singh in 1 minute, 6 seconds with the Superman punch. And in that 1 minute, we found out that Roman Reigns and Sunil Singh have great chemistry. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? Roman Reigns with an in-ring performance of a 73. Sunil Singh with a 38. That's funny. 51 D+ after the match. Jinder Mahal goes and attacks Roman Reigns and just beats him down, standing tall pretty much, as he and Sunil leave the ring. I think he hit Roman with the Colossus and then left, while Roman just kind of sits there like, "Oh, I got my ass beat." Nothing too special. Jinder Mahal gets the last word. But lost heat. This is not a good idea for them this week. They They pretty much lost all the heat for this feud thanks to using Sunil Singh. Poor Sunil. 54 C minus as we hype up. What are we hyping up here? Oh, we're hyping up the fatal four-way match between, of course, Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Bobby Roode, and Kevin Owens, and of course the face-off between Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax that'll be taking place tonight. Then we jump to a 38D minus, another tag team matchup here. Bout that didn't have much heat and terrible wrestling to it. The B Team going over Heath Slater and Rhino in 1 minute 36 seconds after Curtis Axel defeats Heath Slater with the perfect plex. No, they did a like an aided neck breaker, I think. I'll have to add that as well. Bo Dallas really off his game. Come on, Bo. 38D minus, not sure if I mentioned that. Flo was hurt because some workers had little or no involvement. Rhino was not tagged into the match at all, so that's why. Cooled the crowd. Rhino had an in-ring performance of a 30, of course that being with limited involvement. Heath Slater at a 41. Curtis Axel, best of the match with a 44. Bo Dallas with a 39. So he was the worst if you don't count Rhino, but Rhino was the worst with his limited involvement. How does he have in-ring performance, though, if he didn't even wrestle? That's... okay. 59 solid C, as after the match, the B team is celebrating before they interrupted by the music of the Deleters of Worlds, who come out and they cut their promo. They congratulate them, give them a standing ovation. But they do go on to promise that they are not only going to delete the B team, but they are going to delete and eat the B team. So there you have that. Gained heat for the feud, too. Or feud, not food. Talking about eating here, and I'm starting to think about it. It's a good promo, by the way, by those two. I did enjoy that promo. I just can't really remember exactly what they said. 56 C minus as Elias. Oh, okay. I thought they were hyping up Elias coming out, but this is just the recap of Elias getting the upper hand over Seth Rollins in the past 2 weeks. Of course, him hitting Rollins from behind with the guitar, and then hitting Rollins with like the chair last week or something like that. Getting the victory pretty much in that tag team match. 56 C minus for that. And then we see Elias as he's hyping up that he's going to be out there tonight, and I think we're in Little Rock, Arkansas, and he puts over the fact that, you know, even though we're in Little Rock, he's going to try his hardest here tonight and get everyone the best performance he can. So there you have that. We are on the Verizon Arena. By the way, there are way too many Verizon arenas in this game. Like, there's like Verizon Wireless Arena, Verizon something else arena. So many. 68 C plus as Elias. He's out there. He performs his song about Rollins. He doesn't get interrupted either. Performs a full song talking shit on Rollins, talking shit on, you know, Arkansas or wherever the hell they're at. This eventually leads to Seth Rollins coming out. And Elias, he's having none of it. He gets out of the ring. And it all leads to Seth teasing that he's going to curb stomp Elias's guitar. Elias is like, yo, you don't have to do that. In fact, Elias reveals that he got a new guitar. I forgot to mention this. He has a new guitar, and he plans on showing it off after Monday because he's going to wear it with the Intercontinental Championship. It's got like an IC title design and all that. But that guitar doesn't last long because, like I said, Seth Rollins teases that he's going to curb stomp the guitar in, and then he does exactly that by stomping the guitar in. So there you have that for the Elias Seth feud. 68 C plus. 65 solid C as Kevin Owens does the same thing he did with Finn Balor, but this time to Bobby Roode. He approaches him, pretty much talks about, you know, tonight we got the monster among men. You and I need to work together. We need to work together to get rid of Braun Strowman. That way he doesn't make it to this Sunday. Let me know what you think, pretty much. Like I said, I really enjoyed these Kevin Owens things. I like a smart Kevin Owens. I don't like a whiny Kevin Owens. I like my Kevin Owens to be smart, methodical, having a plan of what he needs to do and where he needs to go, having a reason to do what he wants. Like when Kevin Owens first debuted, I was all into it, you know, blaming Sammy, how you got here before me, going after John Cena, so on and so forth. Now he just kind of, ever since like his Jericho friendship, even though a lot of people love the Jericho friendship, myself included, but I feel like the Jericho friendship is what turned him into like this whiny character all of a sudden. So 65 solid C for that. We then go to a 39 D minus as this is just the stupidest thing I've ever seen. The Riot Squad is just backstage. They're pushing people down, throwing stuff off the tables, just making a whole mess backstage. In fact, they even grabbed this one dude's tie and pulled scissors literally out of nowhere and then cut his tie, and it was stupid. It was so stupid. It was so freaking cringy too. Like, it's just like, oh, who does this? We lead into a match between Bayley and Ruby Riott. This is the third match, so if WWE goes back to this more often than they have been, they are going to start getting dinged. Especially with that AJ Styles Shinsuke Nakamura match. I haven't brought it up, but this is Money in the Bank's weekend, so I asked you guys this a while back. Last man standing match between Styles and Nakamura will be their fourth match. It'll most likely get dinged. I know there's a way to turn it off in the game, apparently. If you guys would like me to turn it off, I can always go ahead and turn it off. That way the three-match rule is thrown out. But I myself don't think we should turn it off because I think that's a real-life thing. I think match draining, or whatever you want to call it, fatigue, is a real thing because, we see it every time. We see times where they'll show a match on Monday Night Raw, and then it'll be on the pay-per-view, and we'll be like, well, why do I care about this? I just saw it, There are definitely, match fatiguing out there, so you guys let me know what we should do with, Styles and Nakamura and any of those other matches into the future. But if I don't hear anything back from you guys by Money in the Bank, it is just going to stay the same. So, poor matchup here. Ruby Riott goes over Bayley in 11 minutes, 34 seconds with the Riott kick, not the Heidi Ho. I still got to just change that. After the distraction from Sarah Logan. We also had Liv Morgan distract Bayley in the match as well. This kind of leaded to the Sarah Logan distraction. Like, Liv Morgan distracted, which led to the referee guy getting distracted. And then Sarah Logan, distracts Bayley, which allows Ruby Riott to hit the Riott kick, pretty much. Both Bayley and Ruby off their game. Come on, guys. Liv Morgan doing some good work ringside. Bayley with an in-ring performance of a 45. Ruby Riott with a 36. Ruby Riott's beaten Bayley all 3 times, by the way, if you guys are curious. So they are really kind of using Bayley like as the jobber of the division, it seems like, right now. Pointless commercial break. Big break John coming through again. 100 A star. Thank you, John. 41 solid D. This was in between. That's kind of funny. I didn't mean for that to happen. It just happened that way. I always make, the big break John like the final thing I can see at the bottom. But anyway, 41 solid D as the Riott Squad just, circle around Bayley. Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan hold her still while Ruby pulls out, I think it was black lipstick. It could have been a marker. She starts to draw on Bayley's face before just doing an R on Bayley's stomach. Some NWO stuff. Again, nothing special. 48 D+, Ronda Rousey backstage. She looks like she's getting ready to go face-to-face with Nia Jax when Natalya approaches her and pretty much just gives her some advice, saying, you got to watch out for Nia, yada, yada, yada. Do your thing, pretty much. Showing that friendship between Natty and Ronda, which I do like it. I'm not going to lie. I like the friendship. At first, I thought it was kind of shoehorned in, but it seems like it's legit. I do like it. We do get hype for the Nia Jax Ronda Rousey face-to-face, which is coming up next. 47 solid D. Then we get to the face-to-face segment. 52 D+. Jonathan Coachman, of course, heading this thing. He calls both women out to the ring. I can't really remember what Ronda said to Nia. Like, I don't even remember if she said much to Nia. I remember Nia, though. Nia puts over the fact that, this isn't the UFC. She admits that she was just trying to get in Ronda's head, but, this isn't the UFC. Like I just said, she goes on to put over that there are things in the WWE that are legal that aren't legal in the UFC, like headbutts, like back attacks or something. Like, she started naming all these things that aren't legal in UFC that you can do in real life. Ronda puts over that, all it really is going to take is just an armbar, pretty much. Nia puts over that, Ronda hasn't really earned her spot or anything like that. That kind of pisses off Ronda, who puts over, the fact that I told everybody that I was going to be in the Olympics at 19 years old or something like that, and I did it. I told everybody that I was going to, be in the USC, and now I'm being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Stuff like that. And she tells Nia, and I told you that I'm going to lock the arm bar on, and I'm gonna. So we kind of get a little bit of a stare down, and then Ronda, I think, goes to try to lock the armbar in on Nia, but Nia headbutts her. And Nia starts kind of, getting cocky, like, oh, don't you see, Ronda, yada, yada, yada. But this leads to Ronda getting the armbar in on Nia Jax, making her tap out relatively quickly as soon as she's able to lock it in, of course, because Nia was refusing. She was definitely trying to hold her arm back and not let Ronda lock it in. But the second Ronda was able to get that armbar in, Nia tapped immediately. So Ronda looked very strong here, making Nia Jax tap out just days before her championship matchup here, proving that it can be done. Jonathan Coachman, very underwhelming. Ronda Rousey was good. So there you go, Ronda. And Coach is learning to show more charisma, so good on you, Jonathan. 59 solid C as we get hyped for the men's Fatal 4-Way. That'll, of course, be in between Balor, Strowman, Rude, and Kevin Owens. 28 solid E rating here. Excuse me, I had a little bit hiccup. Kurt Hawkins is just backstage, just, standing there when No Way Jose in the conga line dances by him. Then Michael Cole hypes up. Apparently there's an ESPN article about Kurt Hawkins right now, talking about his 200 loss streak and what keeps him going pretty much, and how it's the drive or whatnot. And we then get hype for a match that'll be taking place between Kurt Hawkins and No Way Jose. 26 solid E for that. And then we go to yet another angle real quick. No Way Jose's done his entrance. He's getting all ready for, this matchup. Kurt Hawkins' music plays. He doesn't come down. Kurt Hawkins' music plays a second time. He doesn't come down. The referee says we're starting this match, and he begins to count the 10 count, which leads to Kurt Hawkins finally making his way down to the ring through the crowd pretty much, trying to catch No Way Jose off guard with a quick roll-up. But we'll get to that when we get to the match. Yet another solid E, 28. Did we go 27, 29, 28? I feel like that's what we did. Finally, we lead to the matchup here, which gets a 34 E plus rating here. Terrible matchup. No Way Jose goes over Kurt Hawkins in 46 seconds with the fastball punch. Like I said, Hawkins tried to get in the ring and roll No Way Jose up for a quick win, but Jose kicks out, turns around, pops Hawkins into the air, hits him with the fastball punch. 1, 2, 3. No way. Jose gets the victory. Hawkins really off his game. Don't blame him. Cooled the crowd. Color helped out though. No Way Jose with an in-ring performance of a 36, better than Hawkins' 27. 65 solid C as Finn Balor meets up with Bobby Roode before the Fatal 4-Way. He asked him if Kevin Owens approached him at all. Bobby says yeah. And Finn's like, are we gonna do this? And pretty much they're like, Finn's like, no way we're not gonna do it pretty much. And Bobby's like, well, I mean, maybe we should. I mean, come on, Braun Strowman's a big dude. And they kind of think about it pretty much. 64 solid C for those two. As we then jump to our Bobby Lashley segment. Oh my god, this one actually wasn't too bad. 54 C minus. Sami Zayn has an obstacle course he wants Bobby Lashley to run because of last week's comments about him questioning if Bobby Lashley really was in the military or not. Renee Young brings out Sami Zayn. She hypes up that we are going to see this obstacle course. Sami then goes on to explain it, how they have like this, I think it was like 240 pounds or something like that, tire that you needed to push twice and then you needed to run down, go under like this little rope thing, then climb over the walls of what did he call it? The three sister walls or something like that. We had I can't even remember the sisters, but the other one was like the Great Jessica, like, the Great Wall or something. It was I love that part. We then had the monkey bars. Sammy's I got to put over Sami Zayn real quick. He's amazing on the microphone. Here's a dumbass NXT like obstacle course segment, and Sami Zayn is just making it look fun. Like, he's all like, I think Bobby Lashley will struggle here because he is not big, pretty much. He puts over, the walls, like I said, and then we get to the monkey bars where she says Lashley's going to be tired by then, and then the rope, pretty much. So Sammy puts over that, it takes about, maybe 2 minutes for an average Marine Corps or whatever guy to get through this. And it took him only, like, I think he said, like, a minute or something like that, a minute 30, I don't know. And it doesn't think Bobby Lashley can do it faster than him. Lashley comes out. He doesn't even speak. We're ready for the obstacle course. Lashley zooms through it. He doesn't even get to a minute. He gets like 40-something seconds. It was actually quite impressive seeing, this big ass motherfucking dude, Bobby Lashley. Like when he goes under like that little part that Sammy said, like, he's a big guy. He's not going to be able to get under this stuff really quick. He zoomed through that shit, bro. Like Lashley was killing it. He was showing off too. Like when he was doing the monkey bars, he was like doing some pull ups at one point. He got on the rope and was like doing his thing. Lashley killed it. But Sami Zayn takes full advantage of it, and instead of, once it's his turn to run, instead of actually running the obstacle course, he attacks Bobby Lashley from behind, beating him down, and then throwing him into like one of the little setup pieces before pretty much standing tall over Lashley with the haluva kick, and then swinging on the rope, adding a little bit more fun stuff. This was probably the best segment they've had between Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. So it really should have been stupid, but honestly, I liked it. I thought it was a fun segment. And it got the crowd interested again after that Kurt Hawkins angle, so thank you guys. Maybe that's what the plan was, get them bored with Kurt Hawkins and No Way Jose. That way they're like, yeah, Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. 66C plus as Owens meets up with Finn Balor and Bobby Roode, and he puts over like, guys, we need to do this, and Balor and Roode still aren't talked into it, and Owens is like, you guys don't understand, like, Braun Strowman's beating us all, like, he's a big dude, we need to take him out. This leads to Braun Strowman actually walking up, and he pretty much tells him, go on, fight me 3-on-1, I don't give a damn, I mean, you're still going to get these hands pretty much. Braun Strowman looking like the beast he always is. Solid 60 rating here as we get more hype for the men's Fatal 4-Way match. This time it is next. And then before we can get into the men's Fatal 4-Way, we have hype for Money in the Bank as the commentators put over a lot of the matches that we'll be seeing at this Money in the Bank. First, we get the men's Money in the Bank ladder match hype, of course, that being between Miz, Kevin Owens, Rusev, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, Bobby Roode, Big E. I chose Big E this time, and Braun Strowman. There was no third one, so unfortunately Xavier Woods got the shaft. I'll have to do that on SmackDown unless it gets revealed. 40D plus or 40D minus, excuse me, for the women's Money in the Bank ladder match being hyped. That of course being between Sasha Banks, Charlotte Flair, Natalya, Becky Lynch, Ember Moon, Naomi, and Alexa Bliss and Lana. Almost forgot Lana there. And then we get more hype for Money in the Bank, as this time we hype up AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Ronda Rousey versus Nia Jax, Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass, and Carmella versus Asuka, 55C minus. 49D plus as we hype up the tag team title match between Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows taking on Harper and Rowan, Jinder Mahal facing Roman Reigns, and Bobby Lashley versus Sami Zayn. And then we ended off with our final match to hype up, 50D plus for the Elias Seth Rollins. It got its own segment because it couldn't fit on the other ones. We then jump into our main event of the night. Fatal 4-Way action, 75B minus. Good match, guys. Good matchup here. Braun Strowman goes over Bobby Roode, Kevin Owens, and Finn Balor in 25 minutes, 27 seconds after Strowman defeats Kevin Owens with the running power slam. On the ladder, I may add. Bobby Roode, apparently the weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance. This was a great match, guys. What a great match. There was even points where it honestly looked like Finn Balor was going to win. Like, he hit that coup de grace on Braun Strowman, and he was just looking good. I'm like, holy shit, dude, Finn Balor might win this. And then Bobby Roode interrupted it, hit his glorious DDT. He couldn't get the victory. Kevin Owens hit the frog splash blast. He couldn't get the victory. Hell, even early on in the match, they were brawling with, Braun Strowman, but Kevin Owens, made his point. Finn Balor and Bobby Roode started helping him out. They even took a ladder to Braun Strowman, got him on the announce table. Kevin Owens did a bullfrog splash from the top of the ladder through the announce table on the Braun Strowman early on. But it wasn't enough. The monster among men still pulls through, hits that running power slam on Kevin Owens, like I said, on top of the ladder. Looked like it was painful as all hell. Braun Strowman tried to slow down, but how do you not make that painful? Finn Balor with a 68 in-ring performance. Bobby Roode with a 57, the worst, as we already mentioned. Kevin Owens with a 68, and Braun Strowman with a 77, the best of the night. Gained heat for the feud. Bobby Roode's improving in performance, as is Finn Balor. We end off the show, and we get a solid 81B rating here tonight. Good on you guys. Increasing our popularity in 34 regions, getting hype for Money in the Bank. it's about time for SmackDown, and we're almost there. Although Money in the Bank is going to be a little bit difficult because, as we've seen, there are 8 people in the Money in the Bank ladder match. We're only able to book 6, so the least popular person from Monday Night Raw and the least popular person from Friday Night SmackDown, or excuse me, Tuesday Night SmackDown, in both the women's and the men's Money in the Bank ladder matches will be taken out of the match. Guaranteed they don't win. Like, say, Ember Moon's probably the least popular of the women. If she wins the match, of course she's going to be in the match. But if she isn't, she'll most likely be facing Lana on the pre-show. Same thing goes for, like, Bobby Roode and probably the New Day member. Unless, of course, they win. That's probably who it is, because I'm pretty sure Finn Balor, Braun Strowman, and Kevin Owens are all popular than, or more popular than Bobby Roode. And for SmackDown, I'm pretty sure Miz is the most popular, with Samoa Joe up there. It's either Rusev or the New Day member. And as for women, I'm pretty sure it's Lana and Ember Moon. Everybody else, I believe, is a little bit more over. I could be wrong, though. It could be Natalya for all I know. Nonetheless, though, that is going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe if you haven't already. As always, my name's been OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. I will see you guys for 205 Live. So don't forget to check that out. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, you think you got a buddy out there who would enjoy the video, why not give him a share, you know? Help the boy out. Help me get some more subscribers. In fact, I got some buddies you can always check down below. My buddy Raging Yoshi, doing his thing on YouTube, uploads almost daily. My buddy Zach, always on Twitch, doing his thing about daily as well. So you can always check them out too, you know? Tell them I sent you. Maybe help them. Oh, look, Sergeant Slaughter left the business. DJZ versus Impact. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. DJZ, what are you doing? So what do we got here before we end this off? Oh, Thea Trinidad. Oh, yeah, I left some of these up here. She relocated over to Ontario, despite the fact that her and Austin are no longer a couple. Matt Silva is now a lightweight, apparently due to his exercising habits. And Shinsuke Nakamura said Andrade Cien Almas is a star. So there you have it. What do we got here? Probably some more money. Yeah, Lana wants money. All right, there you go, Lana. All right. Well, that's going to be the end. And, yeah, I've already said the outro, so have a good day, guys.